This photo was taken in 1942. It depicts Grigory Nezamai, senior political officer of submarine Sch-317, with Valyusha, his 4-year-old daughter, on his lap. A few days later, he went to sea on a patrol, having sent the following letter to his wife and daughter. From the letter written by Grigory Nezamai: I leave to do my duty to the country, to fight the German bastards at sea. Lidushka, my sweetheart, my love, goodbye. I kiss you 1,000 times. Kiss, Valyusha. A few months later, his wife Lidushka and his daughter Valyusha received a death notification. The submarine Sch-317 sank, being on patrol in the waters of the Gulf of Finland with 41 crew members on board, including Grigory Nezamai. In June 1942, the Soviet Baltic Fleet got trapped in the Gulf of Finland. The Germans laid the Seagull mine barrier in the shipping channel between the Gotland and Bolshoi-Tudors Islands. 12 lines with over 7,500 mines. It was virtually impossible to cross it. On June 11, the Sch-317, under the command of Nikolai Mokhov, Captain Lieutenant, set off on an extremely dangerous mission to break through the minefields into the open waters of the Baltic Sea. Vladimir Yegorov, commander of the 4th Submarine Division, Captain 2nd rank, joined the patrol as a supporting officer. From the military order to the Sch-317 commander, the enemy is transporting troops and military cargo to the ports of Finland. In addition, military cargo, raw materials, and food products are transported between the ports of Sweden, Finland, and Germany. As of June 1, 8 German and 2 Swedish transports were operating in the Baltic Sea. By 12 a.m. on June 16, the Sch-317 was to take her position near Karlskrona and by the eastern coast of Eland Island to destroy all transport and military vessels. Swedish military vessels were not to be attacked. The Gulf of Finland. The team of the International Underwater Research Expedition tribute the ships of the Great Victory, which has been for almost 10 years supported by Nikolai Kovalev, the State Duma Deputy General of the Army, is putting out to sea. Its primary goal is to make sure each Immortal Division submarine finally returns home from patrol to those who still care and those who are still there waiting. To discover the submarine, which covered the distance of approximately 1,000 nautical miles, seems virtually impossible. This sub is considered to be the most successful submarine in the Baltic Sea. That's for sure. Perhaps even in the whole Soviet submarine fleet. During one patrol, it sank the largest number of enemy vessels. It sank 3 vessels and damaged 1. It fired all its torpedoes and received permission to return to the base. However, the Sch-317 did not ever return to the base. The sub, which performed several successful attacks on the enemy vessels, was chased around the Baltic Sea. It was repeatedly announced that the Sch-317 had been sunk. Everyone thought it had been destroyed somewhere in the west, near Kolbadagrund or Eland Island. There were even some coordinates mentioned. The Swedes claimed that they had even found something. There is something. And here comes a bigger question. What is that lying there? It turned out that there was no Sch-317 in the Swedish waters, and that was when the members of the Tribute to the Ships of the Great Victory expedition made an assumption that the submarine had successfully escaped from the enemy and had been sunk, hitting the Seagull mines. They were combing an area between Gotland and Bolshoi-Tudors Islands, kilometer by kilometer, with the sonar equipment, and eventually discovered some object at the bottom of the sea. Here it is, the submarine. Another one, approximately 65 meters long, more or less, 6 to 6.5 meters above the seafloor. The clear line of the hull and the conning tower are visible enough. The depth is 80 meters, over 80. Wow, oh my. Even 89 meters from the sea bottom. A submarine, the Soviet World War II era Pike-class sub. Looks like that of 1943. A sort of inclined conning tower, streamlined, a direction finder, 2 guns. The Sch-317 is lying practically on an even keel, slightly leaning to the nose and heading 80 degrees on to her home base, WWII Island. The attack periscope is raised 1 meter, and its lens is turned in WWII's direction. Most likely, returning home from a successful patrol, the submarine slightly surfaced, intending to determine its location, relying on the lighthouses of WWII's and Gotland Islands, when it hit an EMS mine antenna. As a result of an explosion above the submarine, the Sch-317 dropped to the depth of 78 meters, hitting the seafloor with its nose. The pressure of almost 9 atmospheres did not let the crew either follow effective surviving protocol or leave the submarine. The Sch-317 hull became a mass grave for 41 seamen. The gun is practically inside the conning tower in the turret. No visible damage. We haven't reached the nose yet, but the stern at least is undamaged. The discovery of the submarine revealed the route Sch-317 was following during its most successful patrol of 1942. On June 11, 1942, the Sch-317 left Levensaari, heading to the coast of Sweden, Karlskrona area. On June 16, 8 miles southwest of Bogskär Island, the submarine sank the Finnish steamer Argo, loaded with potassium salt. On June 19, to the west of Gotska Sande Island, the Sch-317 torpedoed the Danish steamer Orion, sailing in ballast from Copenhagen to Luleå. On June 22, 3 to 4 miles off Norra Mueklebu, the Sch-317 sank the Swedish steamer Ada Gorton, transporting ironstone for Germany. There was a version that on July 6, 2 miles southeast off Hagby, the Sch-317 was attacked by a Swedish destroyer, Nordenskiöld. Diesel spilled on the water surface. The enemy made a conclusion that the submarine had been severely damaged. However, as it has been recently proven, the Sch-317 managed to continue her patrol. On July 8, to the north of Bornholm Island, the Sch-317 fired its last torpedo and sank the German steamer Otto Kords. On July 10, Yegorov, commander of the 4th Submarine Division, sent a radiogram informing that the Sch-317 had sunk 5 enemy steamers with a displacement of 46,000 tons and that there were no torpedoes left on the submarine, requesting the permission to return to the base. Having been granted one, it headed on to Leningrad. On July 14, the submarine was attacked by the Finnish mine layer Ruotsinsalmi. For many years, this location has been believed to be the place where the Sch-317 sank. However, this assumption has been refuted. Submarine Sch-317 almost made it home. Unfortunately, the submarine hit a mine on the ladder line of the Seagull 3 mine barrier and sank. This discovery refutes all the previous assumptions regarding the Sch-317 wreckage. It is not simply that the submarine managed to escape from the enemy ships. The crew members, supported by Grigory Nezamai, senior political officer, almost made it home. The base was really close. They survived the enemy's ASW attacks in Sweden, Estonia, and Finland. And now, perhaps, it is particularly sad and particularly regrettable to realize that they perished on the last mine line of the last mine barrier, only a few miles away from home. On May 5, 2018, there was a tribute ceremony to the 41 perished crew members at the Sch-317 wreckage location. Priests from the Moscow Theological Academy of the Trinity Lavra of St. Sergius and the Moscow Danilov Monastery performed a requiem service for the perished seamen. Colonel General Andrei Kartapolov, the Western Military District Commander, dropped a floral wreath into the sea. The honor guard from the Baltic Fleet members fired a 3-volley salute. Today is a solemn day as we pay tribute to our heroes. We do understand how much courage, strength, and energy it required, so that today, under this peaceful sunny sky, we could remember and speak of them.
Сегодня великий и божественный день, в который мы вспоминаем наших героев, понимаем, сколько мужества, силы, энергии было отдано для того, чтобы сегодня под этим мирным солнечным небом мы могли говорить и вспоминать о них.
The divers of the Tribute to the Ships of the Great Victory expedition are going down to the seafloor to attach a commemorative plaque with the names of the 41 perished crew members to the Sch-317 hull. The news about the discovery of submarine Sch-317 was broadcast on a number of TV channels. On May 9, she joined the procession with his portrait in her hands. She could not even expect the divers who discovered her father's submarine to come to a small village in the Leningrad Oblast. It was how the daughter of Grigory Nezamai, that very Valusha, who had been waiting for her father for 76 years, looking for any information on his fate, found out the news. Today, we would like to hand the soil from the bottom of the Gulf of Finland and a patch of our Tribute to the Ships of the Great Victory expedition to you. The project is called Immortal Division. It is the immortal division of those submarines which are on eternal patrol. This echoes the portraits you are holding in your hands. The people, this immortal regiment, this division is those very submarines which are gone forever. 8 of them have not yet been found. Today, in its symbolic way, the Sch-317 is returning home. We have not simply discovered this sub, or just told these sailors the war was over. Today, this capsule brought the father to the daughter of that political officer back home. We cannot raise physical remains and bring them home, but what we can do is bring this piece of soil and give the exact longitude and latitude coordinates of this mass grave location. And perhaps this will be a symbolic way of how the crew and a specific man are returning home.